Hello, Gemini, and welcome. I'm Adriana. I'm a soul guidance coach, and I help you choose growth and healing of your inner roots. I have an intuitive message for you today about your spiritual journey. This looks inside and looks outside, relationship within, relationship without. So let's get started. Left to right, Sun of Arrows on the outside, Sun of Roots on the inside. Very interesting. And the Chariot on the inside. And Four of Feathers, Four of Wands. I'm kind of doing a lot of translating with this deck still. Okay, so really interesting things going on. Overall, this feels like a happy, joyful kind of reading. These are really two good indicators of success. The Four of Wands as well as the Sun of Arrows in this deck. So I believe that there's a little bit of a contradiction going on in this reading because these are more short-term successes or success gained through trial and error. The Four of Wands. Four of Wands is asking you to enjoy the success in the moment. And this card is getting lost in the joy of trying for the success, just going over and over and over. Now, this is what's happening in your outside world. So let me just ask if this is energies from others or if this is still your energy. Okay, I feel like this is your energy. So on the outside, you're presenting as very positive and optimistic about the places you've gone. And you kind of feel that there's something in the way other people are perceiving you as someone who's very good-natured, but just kind of learning on the fly, that you're kind of making it up as you go. And they see you as learning through trial and error. On the inside, we have a very different story. We have the Chariot with the Sun of Roots. Now, the Sun of Roots is very focused, very tunnel vision, pardon the pun, he's digging a tunnel. And the Chariot likewise really drives agendas forwards, it's willpower. So there's an incredibly strong willpower inside of you that I feel like you're hiding on the outside. You have a very focused direction. You have a very clear sense of where you're going. And there's this drive in you. You're not going to stop and smell the roses with either of these two cards. You are going for it, Gemini. So another meaning that's coming through with the presence of this energy here is that in this tunnel vision, you may be missing something. You may be missing a little bit of fun, or you may be missing a different aspect that you maybe hadn't considered. When you learn by trial and error, sometimes you learn a lot more than just going at it the first time, because you learn what works and what doesn't work. So there's a shift of perspective that's waiting for you, or a little different facet that's waiting to be discovered. And when you're too focused on one thing, or you're too focused in one direction, then we can lose some of those facets. Okay, my guides are asking me to back up and kind of start that over. Okay, forget everything I just said. What it is. Okay, so we're talking about how other people are seeing you as this trial and error, yet you have this willpower on the inside. You have this drive and this kind of tunnel vision. What we also see is that drive and tunnel vision is having you combine a lot of different elements, and you're holding them together with that energy of the one direction forward. But it's almost as if the connections between these things are not solid or grounded as they could be. They're not as solidified together. So one doesn't really flow into the other, doesn't logically flow into the other, doesn't logically flow into the other. It's kind of a little bit ragtag, like I've got a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. They're all a little bit random. They're not following one true trajectory. So you have the ability to stay on one trajectory, but instead of following this course through to the end, there's kind of this hodgepodge thing going on where I'm doing a little bit of this, doing a little bit of that, doing a little bit, blah, blah, blah. So let me get an advice card. Okay, they want me to pull two. Right. We've got scarcity, walking into the withdrawal. So this is talking about taking some time out to just slow down for a second and bring all these elements together. We have these moose approaching this Four of Swords as if they're going to find sustenance in the energy of this Four of Swords card. So the Four of Swords is talking about thought made manifest. So visualizing what you want, visualizing a clear direction for your future in a specific tunnel. So if you could extend this tunnel out into the future, what would all of these elements look like for you? And they're wanting you, by they I mean guidance, is wanting you to follow this tunnel farther, okay? Instead of trying to string together everything else, and holding all these different ideas, different adventures, different things together, string it forward into what does that tunnel look like down the future. It's literally about extending your tunnel vision with night goggles. So you're looking into a different dimension, into a different space. And that is where you're going to find the sustenance, is the knowledge of the length of that tunnel and what's going to happen in that tunnel. There's so much blooming, this lovely pink on top. I really love this card and how gorgeous this dogwood tree is. Because he's down there in the roots, he sees all the activity that creates this flowering. And to me, this tree also talks about abundance and joy, having all of these things there. This card is a little funny to me, the Chariot, how you've got everything, but you don't really know how long it's going to hold together, versus a future where you have something settled and deep and expansive and really, really nourishing for you. I'm not sure if I mentioned this before, but one of the other cards I pulled for you, the Four of Wands, it's temporary success. So yes, celebrate it, but this is not the culmination. We're not at 10 yet. This is a stop along the way. If you look at the depth and the breadth of this card, this is the kind of settled, beautiful future that could be open for you if you extend this tunnel deep into the roots to find out really what that is. Otherwise, there's still going to be this ragtag, kind of pulling everything together, trial and error. And it's not going to be as fulfilling as you think, because this was on the inside. This is who you are, Gemini. You are that focus. You are that tunnel that sees, that can see far into the future. It's a little bit contradictory to what I would normally think of as the Gemini energy, because I think of the Gemini energy more versatile and varied, where you are connecting to many different elements. But for some reason right now, there's a richness in channeling that tunnel, channeling that one trajectory. And I'm really curious to see how that pans out for you. So Gemini, thanks so much for joining me. If you are curious or you would like to reach out for a personal reading, there's information on how to do that in the description below. I'll look forward to seeing you next time, Gemini. Have a good one.